First Serve is a manual day of service where people can get together and they can learn more about each other and become community. And I'm talking today with Peter Wiley. How are you, Peter?
I'm great. Thank you for having us, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm so glad to talk to you. And Peter is the senior pastor at First Congregational Church in Hudson, correct?
Correct.
All right. And I just want you to give everybody a rundown of what First Serve is.
Sure. Do you want to start with how it began?
I would love that, yeah.
Tell us how it began. Back in 2011, on the 10th anniversary of September 11th, we always had a big just festival to begin the church year like most churches. But knowing it was the 10th anniversary of 9/11, we thought we need to offer something different.
Yeah.
And it was a time that there was a lot of fear being put into the world around September 11th. Even 10 years later, we thought as a faith community, we need to offer hope.
Yeah,
so out on the town green, we had a huge gathering with hundreds and hundreds of people, and it happened to be a day of a hurricane.
Okay.
So drenched in that hurricane, but again, meant to be that place of hope, which really was the beginning of the birth of First Serve.
Right.
I had somebody who challenged me that day who said, you know, I bet you would never do this. But I know of a little church that closes one Sunday and just goes out in service. Mm-hmm. But you'd never do that. It was a bad thing to say. so the next year...
So I can tell you like a challenge.
Absolutely. So the next year we brought it to the church, and we did that the Sunday following Labor Day. Instead of having regular worship, we did a quick sending from our church, and we sent out our entire congregation into the community in service and building relationship. And then it grew from there, where we expanded up into Cleveland and into Akron, and across those years then honed in more on Akron. And then on the September 11th of 2016, we partnered with the Islamic Society of Akron and Kent and with Temple Beth Shalom. So it was an interfaith effort to say, how do we break down those barriers?
Yeah.
How do we come to know each other, learn more about each other while in service in the broader community, people of multiple colors, multiple socioeconomic backgrounds, city, suburban, and that's really its beginning.
That's how it started.
Absolutely.
And so it's continued going on, and it's going to be happening this year on which date?
It will be on Sunday, September 10th, and it will be all over North Hill in, I think, maybe 50 projects or so. Drawing out, right now we already have over 650, close to 700 people signed up, and that continues to grow. And it will all begin, our launching service this year will be at Trinity United Church of Christ on North Main Street in Akron.
Okay.
And then out into the community with so many more opportunities to serve. There will be a cultural tour, a food tour to come to know other backgrounds and people. Really the idea in this broken world where we don't know each other as well as we should.
And how can we find that commonality, right?
And hear each other's stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
And find, yes, we've got differences, and yet there's a lot that brings us together.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love that. I mean, that's why I love doing this show so much, is because I get to hear about what people are doing all over Akron, what people are doing in their communities, and so this is a really wonderful thing. So if someone decided, hey, I want to get involved in this, I know you talked a little bit about what's going on that day, but what would the serving look like? Sure.
If they do want to participate, they can go to just Google First Serve, and they will find the links to get them there. First Serve's day of service, and they can sign up there. But it's everything from painting to preparing backpacks to doing gardening work. Endless projects for every different level of ability. Some are just that day, some are half day, some go multiple day, and then some actually expand into the year. And we've got projects that started 10 years ago that now are year-round times being embedded in schools and other places around North Hill.
So it really sounds like there's something for everyone at any level of capability too.
Absolutely.
And so anyone can come and be a part of this and serve. And serve our Akron community, which is really wonderful. So we will make sure we put all the information below so that people have the website to sign up. Do you guys have social media?
We do. And so again, they can find it there.
So if they just type in like First Serve on Facebook or Instagram.
Absolutely. Or they would also go through HudsonUCC.org, and you can find a link there as well.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
That's great. So what inspires you to do this? I know, of course, your faith, you're the pastor of the church,
of course.
But what inspires you to keep going and serve the community each year with us?
For me, the biggest thing is while the serving is the vehicle to do so, it's knowing that importance of building relationships.
Yeah.
That even if in our heads we know human commonality, actually having that experience one-on-one until we get to know each other. I remember years ago when I was doing work in a community garden digging post holes, and I was out there and there were probably 16 post holes that had to be dug, and it was a hot day and I was out there with a post hole digger all by myself, and all of a sudden this kid comes over and said, "Do you want some help?" I said, "Sure." And I thought this was some high school kid.
Yeah, sure.
And I said, "What's your name?"
Great.
He said, "It's Ahmed." And I said, "Okay, are you, so where are you?" And he said, "Well, I actually go to University of Akron." I figured, "Oh, it's a college student." He said, "No, I actually am from Saudi Arabia." And he came here because he wanted to be a part of Saudi Arabia's 2030 initiative to move beyond their dependence in their economy on oil. And he and I dug holes all day, then we drove around.
Story.
And this is the part that was amazing to me, is after spending that whole day, I thought, here's this kid who's different. And we're driving my truck late that afternoon, and I started to say something to him. And I realized that I was responding to him like one of my kids, because he's the same age as my kids, and he had some of the same values. And even though he's got a different background and other stories, it's finding that commonality of this Muslim youth from Saudi Arabia. And again, those are the experiences that bring the healing, I believe, into the world.
Yeah,
and that's what's so important for me about First Serve.
That's really beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
We will definitely put all the information there so that people can sign up if they still want to sign up and be a part of this just really cool day of service. And it goes beyond the day, like you said too.
Absolutely.
How do you take the day and go beyond with it? What are some of the ways that you guys do that?
It's for anybody who just wants a touch. They can do that half day.
Yeah.
They can do the different pieces and parts, but then afterwards, we now are deeply embedded in Findlay Community Learning Center. It's the elementary school in North Hill, where about half the population come from refugee families, and we have so many volunteers that connect there. So again, if they want to continue to connect, also at North High, at North Hill Community Center, there's so many places that you can continue if you want to go on with the work, or you just get the one experience.
Right. Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us,
appreciate having
Sarah.
you today. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, keep watching. We've got more great stuff coming on up.